we've been running this organization. We started from headcount, Mitch and I, a long time ago, and we wanted to take that same idea of reaching out to artists, but allow it to be partisan, not a 501c3, not a nonprofit. So we started a PAC. I was on the Obama campaign, and we decided to get this organization going, and it's such an honor to have you, Michael. Really, really.
Love that.
Well, my name is Michael Franti from the band Spearhead. I've never endorsed a political candidate, and I probably never will, but I endorse political ideas. And the idea that I'm endorsing right now is that we bring our troops and our tax dollars home as soon as possible. And I really believe that we need people on both sides of the aisle, Democrats, Republicans, Independents, Greens, whatever, to come together and make this a priority. Make the future of our energy needs in this country a priority. Make recycling a priority. Make greening our country and making kindness being part of the American agenda to spread around the world. Not just anger, not just hatred, not just resentment, fear of other cultures or other people or other languages, but kindness. And I do believe that Barack Obama is the person today who is speaking the most forthright about that. And we really need a leader today that is willing to reach across the aisle and say we need help from all people to get this job done, to get America back on track, to get the world on track, and also to bring inspiration to people who are feeling left out of the process, who are feeling left out of the world economic picture. And I really believe that Barack is somebody who's doing that. And so I'm going to vote for him. I don't endorse him, and I'm not saying you should vote for him or not vote for him. I'm saying you should vote for whoever you want to, but be a participant.
Great. Thanks so much, Michael. So that was awesome. So here we find ourselves. It's the summer of 2008, the end of All Good Music Festival up here on a mountaintop in West Virginia. What are the most important issues you think our country's facing coming up to this election?
Absolutely, the most crucial issue is energy independence. And what I mean by that is not just our nation being independent energy-wise from other people, but that this whole world is free from the trappings of fossil fuels, of non-renewable energy sources that do we pollute, and it's this perpetual cycle that we're now waging war over. People are being killed as we speak for these, and as nations like China, who in 5 years from now will have as many cars as America does, 10 years from now may have twice as many cars as America does. These last drops of oil that we're going to be all squabbling over is going to lead to more and more war. So what we really need to do today is to slow down. We need to find ways to conserve. We need to encourage our government to require that car manufacturers in this country increase the miles per gallon. We have the technology to do it. It's just not being done. So we have to do that so we can slow this curve down, so we can stretch this last bit of fuel out, which will give us enough time to explore new ideas, to explore wind, explore the sun, and explore energy capabilities that we have yet to imagine, And I also feel that it's very imminent that we bring our soldiers and our tax dollars back home where they belong. We saw during the crisis with Hurricane Katrina the absolute abysmal failure of the federal government to meet the basic needs of people who were suffering there. And a lot of that has to do with our priorities. Our resources are in Iraq, they're in Afghanistan, they're spread all over the world when they should be back here. And so it's those two things. It's energy independence, it's getting rid of this, the wars, stopping the wars that we have taking place right now, bringing our troops back home, and making sure that the needs of people in this country are provided for.
Wonderful. Here we have, like we've had all this weekend, just tons of people here, galvanized by the force of music, ready to do something. What do you have to say to somebody who might be a huge fan out there but doesn't think that participating in politics is relevant?
Well, I think the first thing is that everything that's political affects us each day of our life, And so we as much as we would like to divorce ourselves, like I remember when Bush was elected to his second term, there was a lot of people, my friends, who said, oh, he's not my president, he's not my president. But he is our president. And what he does in the name of Americans affects the way people around the world look at us. It affects our daily life in terms of our quality of life and for the quality of life for generations to come. So we can't divorce ourselves from this process. So we have to say, how is it that we are going to arm ourselves with information, arm ourselves with knowledge, arm ourselves with facts, so that when we walk into that election booth, we are ready, we are prepared to make the best decisions that we can. And like I said before, I don't believe in partisan politics. I don't believe that that's the best way to go, because I feel it detracts from what we really want to get done, because it just becomes a game of us against them rather than this thing of, well, what's the best way for us to go? And because of this perpetual campaigning that every politician has to do today, they're just reading the polls of today. Oh, CNN said there was a poll that everybody likes blue, so now we're going to all do blue stuff, and tomorrow it's everybody likes red, so we're going to do all red stuff, you know, instead of thinking, what is it that 7 generations from now is we're going to prepare today, so that 7 generations from now our children's children have the fruits that they need to keep going. We're really at a precipice right now. And the other thing is that I would say even worse than an election that's stolen by the Supreme Court decision, or an election that's stolen by electronic balloting, is an election that's stolen by cynicism. And so we have to rise above our cynicism and say, we are going to participate, we're going to register, and we're going to vote.
So speaking right of that cynicism right now, here we have this unbelievable network enhanced by technology of musicians and musical people throughout the country. What are we going to do beyond partisan politics to get this community to help propel young people and old people alike in this country to be politically active in a greater sense than partisan politics?
Well, I think you have to break it down to some simple, ideals that we all share, you know. And I was talking today on the stage, the festival community, I think there's one thing that unites everybody when they come to the festival community is this idea of kindness. It's like, how can I extend myself? How can I give to the next person? Maybe their tent fell over and I can help with an extra tent stake that I had. Maybe somebody comes by and, you know, they had a bit too much to drink. Come and sit down with me and hang out with me for a few moments. Maybe somebody hasn't had any food because something got lost on the way here, and you've got an extra tofu dog you can share with them or whatever, you know. And that really takes place here. And so when we leave here, we go home with that same experience. When we leave here, we also go home with the experience of having composted, recycled, and made a decision which things we're going to put in landfill, you know. And that's something that we take home with us. And so all these things we take home with us, the experience of being in nature and the elements, you know, the importance of that, and also just getting here, to and from here, and thinking about how much gas we've spent, how much money it's cost this year compared to last year, you know. So all these things are things we think about as a festival community, and these are things that we have to also base our political decisions on. And also just remember, like, you look around here at a festival like All Good, when maybe there's, I don't know the exact numbers, but, you know, 20,000, 30,000 people. You know, most congressional elections are decided by a lot less than that. So if you were able to galvanize these 20,000 people to get behind the candidate that was in most support of the ideals that we share here in the festival community, we could get people elected and make a difference in this country.
Wonderful. I want to back up here and talk a little bit about your experiences in the Middle East. I think that